Hi everyone, this video is all about simplifying trigonometric identities. Everything will be explained based on this book, Plain Trigonometry by Jerra Carpio and Jaime M. Guillermo. On page 108, it shows you how to simplify trigonometric expressions or identities. So, let's start. Basically, there are 4 approaches in simplifying trigonometric expressions, but not all can be applied in a certain problem. So what you need to do is choose the most appropriate way to be used. First is rewriting functions in terms of sine or cosine only. Second is factoring. Then next, rewriting the expressions with a common denominator. Then last, separating one fractions into 2 or more. First, let's start with rewriting functions in terms of sine or cosine only. A sample problem is cotangent over cosine. If you are going to solve this, simplify cotangent in terms of sine or cosine. Look at the table and you can see that cotangent is equal to cosine over sine. So, it will become cosine over sine all over cosine. To simplify this term, we'll get the reciprocal of cosine, which is over 1. So we'll get cosine over sine times 1 over cosine. Cancel out cosine and it will leave you to 1 over sine. Look at the table again and 1 over sine is equal to cosecant. So, the simplest form of cotangent over cosine is cosecant. Next is simplifying by factoring. A sample problem is cosine cube plus sine squared cosine A. Solving this, if you see, there are 2 terms and both terms have cosine on each side. So, if we factor out cosine, it will leave you to cosine square A plus sine square. Look at your table again and you can see that sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1. So, this will become 1. And the simplest form of cosine cube plus sine square A, cosine A is equal to cosine. Next is simplifying by rewriting the expressions with a common denominator. A sample problem is 1 over tan square B plus cosine square B over cotangent square B. There are 2 fractions and they don't have common denominator. So, to get the common denominator, you have to multiply this expression by you have to multiply the term by tan squared and cotangent squared B. So if you see, multiplying 1 over tan squared with tan squared B cotangent squared B, tan would be cancel out and leave you to cotangent squared B. Same as multiplying cosine square b over cotangent square b. Cotangent squared will be cancelled out in the denominator. Simplify that out and we'll have cotangent square b plus cosine square b all over as you can see, tan squared and cotangent squared are now in one term. Look at our table and if you simplify tan squared multiplied by cotangent squared, it will get you in writing it in sine or cosine, it will become sine over cosine multiplied by cosine over sine. Simply, it will be all cancelled and leave you to 1. So, cotangent square b plus cosine square b multiplied by tan square b. This will be 1, while simplifying cosine square b with tan square b, it will become cosine squared. Again, cosine squared will be cancelled out and it will leave you to cotangent squared b plus sine squared. And that is the simplest form.